What's up guys, it's your boy Young J here with another video. Today I will be talking about 5 of the most underrated players in the NBA. But before we get into that, in my last few videos, they haven't been doing as good. So if you could go back and watch them, like them and subscribe, it would mean a lot. Anyways, into the video. Collin Sexton is a 6'1" point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers. His career started off slow because in his rookie season many Cavs players said he didn't know how to play the game, but he has clearly proven them wrong and has put up 16.7 points per game and 3 assists and 3 rebounds on 43% from the field and 40% from 3 in his rookie season, which was pretty solid stats for a rookie player, but he's never brought up in a positive light. Everyone talks about how his playmaking is bad. And in his second season, he's averaged 20.8 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on 47% from the field and 38% from 3. It's ridiculous how he's never talked about because he's legit an efficient 20 points per game scorer and shooter in just his second season, and people just talk about Devontae Graham's 18 points and 7 assists on terrible efficiency. And let me bring up the fact that Collin didn't even initially make the Rising Stars game, which is blasphemous because they put guys in there who average half of Sexton's points. He would end up making the game to replace an injured player, but he shouldn't have had to replace someone to make it. I know he doesn't average enough assists for him to play point guard. That's why if he plays shooting a guard along Darius Garland, he could focus on scoring and become one of the best players out of the 2018 draft. And post All-Star break, he's averaged 25.5 points per game on 52% from the field and 43% from 3. And no one wants to bring it up. They will talk about anything besides him. And in the month of March, he's averaged 30 points per game on 58% from the field and 37% from 3. Mark my words, Collin will be a superstar, mainly because of his incredible work ethic. Bojan Bogdanovic is a 6'8" small forward for the Utah Jazz. This season, he's averaged 20.2 points per game on 44% from the field and 41% from 3. This season, he's consistently been Utah's third best player, and he's never getting credit for how valuable he has been with spacing the floor and scoring the ball. Mike Conley's disappointing season has been talked about more than how good Bojan Bogdanovic has been good this season. Even last year, he averaged 18 points per game on 49% from the field and 42% from 3. And since Oladipo got injured for half of the season, he was the first option and his percentage didn't drop and Indiana didn't fall out of the playoffs like many predicted. Post All-Star break, he averaged 20.9 points per game on 50% from the field and 42% from 3. Utah clearly wouldn't be at the top of the West without him because he's an efficient 20 points per game player, and his three-pointer is underrated because over the course of his career, he's consistently averaged over 39% from 3. If the playoffs continue this year and Utah goes deep in the playoffs, best believe Bojan Bogdanovic will be a big reason why. Bradley Beal is a 6'4" shooting guard for the Washington Wizards. He is a 2-time All-Star and one of the best scorers in the league. In the 2019-2020 NBA season, he is averaging 30.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6.1 assists on 45% from the field and 35% from 3. Beal is probably having the least talked about 30 points per game season in NBA history. The fact that he didn't make the All-Star game while averaging 30 points per game, and Trae Young made it having worse stats and being a defensive liability, and he didn't just make it as like a regular player, he made it as a starter, which is ridiculous. That alone shows how Beal is underrated because not enough fans, players, media, or coaches voted for him, showing how many people are not aware of how good he is. He also had back-to-back 50-point games, one against the Chicago Bulls where he had 53 points and one against the best defensive team, the Milwaukee Bucks, where he scored 55 points. Beal became the first player with 50-plus points on back-to-back nights since Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Bernard King, Elgin Baylor, and Wilt Chamberlain. Those are all Hall of Fame players, and the fact that Bradley Beal joined a list like that and no one mentions it is just terrible. All this talking makes me wish Beal didn't sign the contract extension earlier in the season. And in his last two previous seasons, he's played 82 games, which most players don't complete, showing his durability. Post All-Star break, he's averaged a ridiculous 36.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 5.6 assists on 45% field goal shooting and 44% from 3. And people will talk about 150-point game forever from Trae Young. Bradley Beal has been a superstar this season, and everyone should be aware. Malik Beasley is a 6'4" shooting guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves. This season, he's averaged 11.2 points per game on 42% shooting from the field and 38% from 3. But don't let this nonchalant stats trick you into thinking he's average. Because in Denver, he was simply misused as just a spot-up shooter. In the season with Denver, he averaged 7.9 points per game on 38% from the field and 36% from 3 in just 18 minutes. The reason he's been so bad is because he was used as just a shooter and given way less minutes. But when he got a fresh new start with Minnesota, he thrived, averaging 20.7 points per game on 47% from the field and 42% from 3 since joining. Since the trade has been so recent and he's playing in Minnesota, no one has been aware of how good he has been. If he continues the way he's been playing, he could be an all-star in the future and will be a great help to Karl-Anthony Towns. I think everyone still has this image of him as being a good role player, but now he's turning into a star. But if his play translates to next season, he could maybe win Most Improved Player. He's so underrated that his own team, the Denver Nuggets, didn't play him that often and traded him for half a bag of chips. Beasley hasn't even played with Karl-Anthony Towns yet, and he's doing this good already. With Karl-Anthony Towns' spacing, he will do way better. Beasley can improve, only being 23 years old, and Minnesota needs to sign him this offseason to a respectable contract. Jalen Brown is a 6'6" shooting guard for the Boston Celtics. This season, he's averaged 20.4 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.2 assists on 49% from the field and 38% from 3. This year, he's played just like an all-star and is one of the most efficient 20 points per game scorers in the NBA. When most people think about the Boston Celtics, they think of Jason Tatum or Kemba Walker, but Jalen Brown should be someone you instantly think of as well. His defense on the perimeter is key to the Celtics being so versatile on defense, and he can guard the guard, covering for Kemba defense. The Celtics are a plus 5.5 when Jalen is on the court. He signed his big contract, and everyone criticized the Celtics, thinking he's not as good to earn a contract worth 4 years, $107 million. But this season, he's shown he's well deserving of a contract like that, and maybe even more. It's surprising to me how underrated the in-game NBA and that youth, but Jason and Kemba have overshadowed him. He also is only 23 years old, so he can improve and maybe become a superstar. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for making it to the end. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more quality content, and Young J out.